Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the classic Call of Duty games, starting from Modern Warfare, the first one up.
And I'm going to go ahead and make an apology to the games that did not make the cut, such as Call of Duty Finest Hour, Big Red 1, 3, and a few others that I might not have mentioned. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think we should do the app.
The app?
Yeah.
Heroes?
Yeah, Heroes.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, I am joined here by Justin, Killer Player 735, I believe is what he'd like to be called by, and Danny with a Y. Now, let's begin with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1. Justin, would you like to do the honors?
Okay, just since this is a throwback to all these classical games that we've all played here, it's just a fun little thing. I mean, if you go back and if you've played it, you have all these good memories of doing all these stupid little things and these little games versing one another. One of my favorite things had to be the little zombie glitch. You remember that?
I think I do, yes.
Yeah, you set down claymores, call in a care package, drop it on you, and your character would walk around like a zombie. It's just a stupid little thing, but it was always so much fun, you know?
I believe that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, being the first installment that actually brought us to Modern Warfare, really revolutionized the whole, premises of online gaming as well.
Oh, definitely.
Because, you had all your other gamings that a lot of them took place in World War II, and that just being done over and over again, especially in the Call of Duty franchise, just having it in modern days was a brave thing for them to do, and it was very revolutionary.
Activision did really well on that.
They did. It was one of their finest titles.
Because I remember that was the first game I actually ever played online against other people, and that was when I was still growing up. Me and you were probably like 10 at the time.
Yeah, around that. We were still young. But, yeah, that was a good game. Do you two want to say anything about it?
I remember when Justin was telling me about when he first got it, and he was playing with his cousins, and then they thought they could beat him. And then they were telling his dad how he kicked their asses.
Yeah.
That was always interesting for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
But Justin, you being so good at the Call of Duty game, just tell me how exactly that affected you.
It didn't really affect me at all.
No. How exactly did you feel about that? Because, I can't say I'm all too good at Call of Duty.
Basically, what he's asking is, how does it feel to be an elite?
Yes, kind of.
I don't even consider myself an elite.
Let me ask, Justin, are you a part of the elite membership?
Practically.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. And talking about this, it all does go back on what Justin said earlier. You do have a lot of great memories, especially in the older Call of Duties.
It's a really dumb thing. It was just... I remember the day I got it, because it was also one of the days I got my PlayStation 3 at the time, and it was the most fun ever. Just starting it up and playing online at that age. It was just groundbreaking for us, you know?
You want to know something that's crazy to think about as well? Those were on, the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
As well, yeah. They didn't make a lot of copies for those, though, if you remember.
It's like with World at War. If you go back and think, originally, I had World at War on the PlayStation 2. That was the very first time I got it. And it's just crazy to think that hardware could honestly run on those older consoles.
They overlooked that, though. I just realized that. You didn't see it as much.
Yeah. It was a very fun time in gaming. Do you want to move on to the next Call of Duty now?
World at War.
World at War. Okay. First impressions at World at War, I was scared to death. I thought it was so scary and grimy because it was so dark. And the first time I played Call of Duty Zombies, which we'll talk about Call of Duty Zombies more in a later video and talk about all the different variants, like Extinction and all of that. But in World at War, that was so scary.
It was.
My first time.
It was one of the best, I have to say it was one of the best World War II games that Call of Duty has made, especially with how gory it was. They took a big step with that.
With the giving people and everything, you're able to blow their legs off. That was so much fun, and it really brought you into the whole World at War II aspect of it.
And you two, feel free to say something. You don't have to raise your hand. I love the campaign, and I was not raising my hand. But the campaign is just, to my personal perspective, incredible. I loved the campaign. That was a really huge step compared to all the other campaigns that I've actually played and I really thought that was personally one of the best campaigns that they've ever made in a World War II game.
I will agree on that. Call of Duty World at War was one of the best campaigns in a Call of Duty game, and one of, if not the best, World War II campaign that I've ever played.
It was one of my favorite Call of Duties.
Yeah.
Like, big time. I love they brought in the dogs, all that kind of stuff for the multiplayer, just
You
the
can't forget
classic
it.
feel to it.
It was one of the hardest ones too. Wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
And you can't forget how great the multiplayer was with those maps that really sunk you into the whole feeling.
Yeah. And, okay, my favorite thing had to be, it was Call of Duty's first time ever introducing a co-op campaign.
Which they didn't do, I'm pretty sure, until the Black Ops 3, right?
Not until Black Ops 3, there was no co-op campaign.
I didn't get all the way through the campaign, but I played about halfway with Justin. You remember?
Get out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
and Noah. It was pretty good.
It was great. The characters were amazing.
You gotta love those flamethrowers.
He was,
God, fucking flamethrowers are
he was telling me
amazing.
a lot about how the actual
Oh,
war.
and World at War, there's this little glitch I loved. I'm pretty sure it's in World at War, isn't it? With the ray gun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
that was a
campaign.
really cool glitch. I love that
just a
glitch.
simple little thing, just like
Run from-
it took something that people loved in the zombies, but again, we'll get to that later. It just took something out of that, and you did a simple little step, and you're using a ray gun in the second mission, and you could blow up tanks, blow people's limbs off.
And that
and
was
all kind of
amazing.
stuff.
It wasn't really like a glitch. It was more of a
An Easter egg.
It was
Yeah.
an Easter egg. Not to mention, World at War was one of the biggest Easter egg games that Call of Duty had at the time. Because, like, a lot of them, they threw in a little thing here and there. But if you remember one of the very first trophies, if you saved Private Ryan.
You got the trophy Saving Private Ryan, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
That was, like, I just remember, he was the one when the Japanese guy ran at him on fire, right?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I was like, Jesus! I was, like, freaking out. I was like, why?
Because, like, not only... Okay, I'm going to go back here. I know... I'm just going to mention Call of Duty 3 real fast because it brought in one thing that this reminds me of. The whole quick time events.
Yeah.
You remember that? Because I remember Call of Duty 3, that was the first thing. You're in a bell tower, you turn a corner, next thing you know, you're fighting this Nazi who's trying to strangle you with his gun.
And you know another thing about Call of Duty 3?
What?
I think it's one of the only Call of Duties where you can drive vehicles in the multiplayer. I can't really speak
I'm not too
before
sure.
that.
I never really played it.
No, I played one at
Yeah,
my
you
friend
could-
Aiden's house. I forget what it was. I think it was around the first one. You could drive vehicles.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember playing Call of Duty 3 with my cousin and thinking, this is really cool, because we were driving around in little, like, buggies.
I also remember, oh man, going back to World of War, I loved the tank missions.
Those were so
Those
fun.
were amazing.
Me
I
and
had a
Noah
lot
could
of
never
trouble
get-
with them, though.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Noah could never get past the first one. We always kept getting pissed off, and we kept wagging on each other like, "Quit fucking running into me, you dick!"
Well, I was actually gonna say, but shit, I just forgot what I was gonna say. But
Use
I
your
really-
words.
I really just forgot what I was gonna say, and it was really important and it was really cool.
Moving on. Would you like to introduce the next
Modern
one?
Warfare 2!
Modern Warfare 2. The best Call of Duty.
Played it last night.
In my opinion, it is the best Call of Duty game ever.
So
Story-wise.
Story-wise, yes.
So many memories with my Uncle Justin and my sister Miranda. The reason why I mention that is because my sister Miranda isn't around that much, and I love her to death.
And not to mention the multiplayer, just like whether or not you were playing online against everybody or if you were just playing like versus against one or two people, shit went down at Rust.
Yeah.
That was
That
battle.
was where arguments were settled.
That is where arguments were settled. Small map, lots of fun. And I remember it was one of the first games that I went prestige on when it came to playing online, which was a lot of fun. But it also had some of the most iconic maps ever. Whether or not it was campaign with Leave No Russian, No Russian, and at the
What the
terminal-
most controversial Call of Duty mission
Oh, it was
of all
definitely-
time.
that was
What's the Russian dude's name at the airport where they gunned down with
Makarov.
Yeah, Makarov. That's the first one where they introduced him, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And then you
Because
find out-
Zakhaev was in Modern
Yeah,
Warfare.
Zakhaev.
Yeah, however you say his name. But also, we have to look at this. In the multiplayer, the maps were so iconic that not only are they being, like, revamped in games like Call of Duty Ghosts and all of that,
Oh yeah.
and Modern Warfare 3 had Terminal, but it seems like every game is rumored to have Rust as a map in it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, the same premise of Rust with like the really small, compact map. But here's another thing. Talking about the campaign wise, Now, you have to remember the controversy of Ghost, Gauze, and all them. You remember?
Yeah, there were so many, like, conspiracies and all of that made.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, Ghost is just gauze, or, Ghost isn't really dead. Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Ghost was my favorite character. Wasn't he one of the characters that stayed behind so you could get out?
No,
Ghost got shot.
He
in
got
the
shot
tummy.
by General Shepard. Again, spoilers.
So many people were like, oh yeah, well, in the beginning of the mission, he's like, why do we have to wear fireproof vests? And I don't know, I mean, just something about that whole, them making the conspiracies,
it's just
it tickles
the
me.
fact that people made conspiracies. Don't get me wrong, I loved him. He was my favorite character. But there's no reason to make conspiracies about it.
I mean, if he's gone, he's gone. Honestly,
They did
I think
the
if he...
same thing with Reznov.
I think that, well, I mean, if you think about it, like, Reznov was sort of... Treyarch went along with the conspiracies and put him in Black Ops.
That is very true. They went along with conspiracies, and then it's just like, oh no, you're just seeing this thing. Your guy's insane. I remember that shit.
I feel like if Ghost was still alive, though, he would have been in at least Modern Warfare 3 or Ghosts.
What do you guys
I thought he would have been in Ghosts because, I mean, it's obvious, but I guess not.
When you guys mentioned Ghost, I freaked out a little. I thought we were talking about Call of Duty, not the game.
Oh, God. We'll get to that. Okay. Do you want to chime in? Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, are we moving on now?
No, it's fine. You can talk
I
about
wanted
it.
to actually move on to Modern Warfare 3 because that's
We got another one before Modern Warfare 3.
okay.
Because Treyarch and Activision always took turns. Speaking of, one last thing before we move on from Modern Warfare 2. I love the museum after you beat the campaign.
Yeah, and it took me like 3 years to figure out you could make the people go alive.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a good while.
Yeah, there is.
And after that, it was the most fun I've ever had.
It's pretty much like a survival thing, not to mention Spec Ops.
Yes, I was just about to say we almost forgot about it. That had the best Spec Op missions that I've ever played.
I love
Spec Ops.
Simplify.
Defending Burger Town.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was, like, legendary.
You don't remember that?
Burger Town is an old
We've
map.
all done Spec Ops.
But everyone has played Spec Ops.
Yes.
The Spec Ops, the Defending Burger Town was one of the hardest ones, but it was the most fun. Anything that has defense, I absolutely adore.
You shouldn't own the Modern Warfare games if you don't play the Spec Ops.
Exactly. That's one of the biggest things, especially because, like, whenever you play them online, it's just so much fun. If you play them with your friends.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
basically part of the story, too.
Yeah, I mean, they
If
all
you
go
think
along.
about it, it's kind of like the background characters.
Yeah.
Which is so amazing. I'm so glad they interpret it.
I mean, you can play them seriously or you can play them for fun. It doesn't matter.
You remember the Spec Ops mission where you're in the snow and you have to, like, sneak around?
Yeah.
I never completed that all the way through.
Really?
Really.
Dude,
It was hard.
You know, one of the hardest ones I did. I remember this was when I still went to Ohio on a yearly basis, and I brought my PlayStation 3 down and I played with my birth father Jeff. We played the hell out of it, and it was just to complete the final fucking Spec Ops mission on the oil rig where you fought nothing but juggernauts and helicopters.
Oh god, I know what you're talking about. That was so
We
hard.
never completed it. We completed it on regular, we completed it on hardened, but we never completed it on veteran. We'd come down to 3 juggernauts, and we could never beat it.
My tactic with Juggernauts, and
Big Daddy Juggers?
this is a very good tactic. My tactic with Juggernauts is to run and just let the other person deal with them. I mean, eventually, if they just kill your other person and they come to you, you just, keep running. You're
We
faster
shot-
than they are.
We used rockets, grenade launchers, 50 cals. Our main weapons were sniper rifles. And we played, from morning to night just trying to beat it on veterans. And it never happened.
Oh, you know a fun little fact about Modern Warfare 2?
What?
The scar in it was actually brought over to the game Homefront, and they had in the description of the gun, I think it said, a gun made iconic by the Modern Warfare series.
Really?
Yeah.
They made a shout out?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I know. I didn't... I thought that was a pretty cool little thing.
Okay, time to move on to the first Black Ops.
The first Black Ops, story-wise, was... I loved it, to be honest.
Phenomenal.
And the multiplayer was, again, phenomenal.
What really got me in the first Black Ops had to be the campaign when you had to break out of the prison.
That was so awesome. It really made you feel like a special ops character, like a Black Ops character. And you know, with